Good morning and welcome everyone to our podcast, Composers Through the Time. Today we are here with Gustav Mahler, one of the most famous composers of the 20th century. He has composed 9 symphonies and several songs for singer and orchestra. Hi, Gustav.
Hello.
How are you?
Yes.
It's a pleasure for us to have you here.
Same pleasure for me to be here. And I have to say that actually there are 9.5 symphonies because I couldn't finish the 10th symphony before my death. So so here we are.
What a disaster. Well, Gustav, can you tell us about who was one of the most inspiring composers for you?
Okay, I had a lot of amazing inspirations in my life. But if I had to say one of them, absolutely he was Ludwig van Beethoven. His career is such an example for me and for all the musicians in history, and all his pieces are so meaningful, so perfectly written. And if I would, if I would have to choose one of his compositions, his third symphony, called Eroica, is for me the best compositions ever written by a human being in history. It's such a perfect symphony. It's considered the first modern symphony, and he talked about Napoleon, who was an important person and was doing important advances in society. But after that, Napoleon became himself an emperor. So Beethoven decided that the symphony was not dedicated to him; was dedicated to the memory of what Napoleon had been before that decision. So that's my answer.
That's amazing.
And let's talk more about you. So what is your favorite composition?
Okay, sorry for the interruption. Someone opened the door, but we continue. We were talking about my favorite composition,
Yes.
and casually is one of yours. I loved Mahler 1. I think it's incredible how you took the melody of that people sang in the bars and with the alcohol, and
You're talking about Frere Jacke?
yeah, exactly. And you made it minor, and then you made like a funeral.
March.
Yeah, that's it.
That's correct.
And I think the first solo of the double bass alone, it's very beautiful and difficult at the same time to tune. And well, I love all the solos in the symphony. And okay, so now my question is, what is the composition you think it's more meaningful to you of the ones that you composed?
Okay. Yes, the first symphony was a very meaningful for the reason that it was the first, but I must choose the second symphony, because it has an amazing meaning about the death. Okay, I don't know if you know, but it's called the Resurrection Symphony.
Yes.
And when I found that text that after I used in the symphony for the chorus, I knew that I had to read something special, and I don't know if you know, but the first thing I said when I listened the symphony played by an orchestra is that music was written by God and brought to us, and it's not like a thing to say that I'm a very nice composer.
It's like God make it through you. You are the expression.
I really felt that way, and it was a very very special moment. in that moment of my life, I was changing of job, and I accepted.
Yeah, because you were a conductor as
Yes,
well.
yes.
Okay.
And I started to conduct the Vienna Philharmonic and the Opera of Vienna
Mhm.
mainly, and it was I need to be a Christian person, Catholic person to be there, and before that I was a Jew because my family was Jew,
Mhm.
were Jew, but I really felt that I become Catholic, and that symphony has a very important meaning because of that in my entire life. So
That's very beautiful. Well, music has changed a lot through the years.
yes, I wanted to ask you that what happened to the music after my death. I have a very insane curiosity of what
Well,
happened.
like you have already made huge symphonies and you have explored a lot of things. So then people had to improvise and make things that have to be different. So we have gone through Schomberg that
Oh yeah, he was a very friend of mine.
yeah, that he started to do more not contemporary things, but he was on the path. And well, people started to use different techniques in the instruments, and well, now the contemporary music has a lot of sounds that we couldn't imagine that we could do with our instruments because they use multiphonics or things that you don't do by playing your instrument but by taking other things and making sounds. And well, nowadays we have reggaeton and pop music.
What's that? What's the reggaeton?
Yeah, it's a style, a music style with a very rhythmical bass.
Maybe
And
to dance or
yeah,
ah.
and then well, the letters they are now people put in their letters things that are not as beautiful as you did.
Okay. Alright.
Really. But well, and that's how the music changed.
Okay.
And it was a pleasure to have you here, Gustav.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
It's my pleasure.